Most men never realize this. The moment she decides what you are to her happens before attraction, before logic, and long before words even matter. And once that moment passes, you're locked into a role you didn't choose. Here's the uncomfortable truth of dark psychology. Women don't connect to men through conversation. They connect through internal shifts. Silent ones, invisible ones. You can say everything right and still lose, or say very little and change everything, because there is a hidden layer beneath flirting, beneath confidence, beneath charm. A psychological space where perception is formed, where desire is born without permission, where attraction feels inevitable. Most men never enter this space, not because they're weak, but because they were taught the wrong game. And once you see this layer, you can never unsee it, because the next thing you're about to learn explains why some men are never forgotten. There's a reason some men linger in her mind long after the conversation ends, long after the date, long after silence. It's not their looks, not their money, not even their confidence. It's the imprint they leave. Dark psychology teaches this. A woman doesn't remember you. She remembers how her internal state changed because of you. Most men talk at her. They gather facts. They collect information. They try to impress. But the rare man does something different. He alters her emotional temperature. He makes her feel slightly off balance. In a good way. Curious. Drawn. Aware of herself. And once that shift happens, her mind begins working against her will. She replays moments, rereads messages, feels something she can't label. This is where attraction quietly forms. Not loudly, not desperately, but deeply. And here's the danger. If you don't know how this works, you accidentally push her away while trying to pull her closer. Here's the mistake almost every man makes, and it feels logical, even correct. They try to be understood. They explain themselves. They clarify intentions. They over-communicate feelings. They think clarity builds connection. In dark psychology, this does the opposite. The moment you make yourself fully predictable, her imagination shuts down. And when imagination dies, attraction follows. A woman doesn't fall for what she understands. She falls for what she feels unfolding. That's why the good guy becomes background noise. Not because he's bad, but because there's no psychological tension left to explore. Mystery isn't silence. It's depth without exposure. Presence without explanation. The rare man doesn't rush to be known. He lets her discover. And discovery activates dopamine, curiosity, emotional investment. She starts leaning forward emotionally, not because you pulled her, but because her mind wants to close the gap. And the moment she starts imagining who you are, she begins forming attachment on her own. There is a door almost no man sees. I call it the room of imagination. Most men operate in the rooms of reality or logic. What do you do? Where do you live? Do you like this or that? Those rooms build information, not connection. The room of imagination is where she escapes when life feels heavy. When the world presses down, when she's tired of expectations. And here's the secret. If you can enter that room, even silently, she begins to reveal parts of herself no one else knows. Her fears, her desires, her unspoken truths. But you can't force it. You can't fake it. You must trigger her imagination, not her answers. A simple shift in your tone, presence, or question can make her feel as if she's stepping into a world only you built for her mind. And once she's there, attraction doesn't feel like a choice. It becomes inevitable. Here's how the door opens. Not with flirting, not with compliments, not with clever lines. It opens with one kind of question. The kind that bypasses logic and lands directly in feeling. Most men ask questions that require memory, dates, facts, preferences. The rare man asks a question that requires imagination. When life feels heavy, where does your mind go to breathe again? Notice what happens. She doesn't answer immediately. There's a pause. Her eyes soften. Her tone changes. That pause is not confusion, it's entry. Her mind just stepped out of reality and into an internal world, and you're standing there with her. From this moment on, she's no longer talking to you. She's talking through herself. And once a woman associates emotional relief with your presence, your absence becomes noticeable. This is where men lose her, quietly, unknowingly, permanently. She opens up. She reveals something real, something vulnerable. And he rushes in. He advises. He fixes. He reassures. In dark psychology, this collapses attraction. Because she didn't open her inner world to be handled. She opened it to be seen. The rare man doesn't react. He reflects. He mirrors the feeling, not the story. He names what she couldn't put into words. If she says, "I feel most alive when I'm near the ocean," you calmly say, "Freedom isn't a hobby for you. It's part of who you are." And that sentence does something dangerous. It makes her feel understood without exposure. And when a woman feels understood at that depth, her nervous system relaxes around you. She stops performing, stops filtering, stops guarding. Here's the part most men misunderstand. When she starts leaning in emotionally, they think they caused it by effort, by doing more, by being more. But the truth is, you didn't create her attachment. You removed resistance. When the internal fight ends, attachment forms naturally. She associates your presence with relief, your voice with calm, your silence with safety. You don't become important. You become emotionally significant. But the bond breaks the moment you reach for it. Texting to check, pushing for clarity, needing reassurance. These don't feel loving. They feel heavy. The attraction wasn't built through effort. It was built through presence. The rare man protects the space where it formed. And then something flips. She starts monitoring herself, wondering why she cares, why she feels pulled. I learned this lesson the hard way. She was with me, but not present. Warm words, called energy. I didn't chase. I didn't confront. I said calmly, "You're not upset, but you're far away. Like something inside you isn't comfortable, and you're carrying it alone." Silence. Then she said, "You annoy me because you understand me more than I understand myself." That's when I realized something important. Understanding cuts deeper than desire. People don't open up because of love. They open up because of recognition. Power is not control. Power is not dominance. Power is being the place someone feels safe enough to stop pretending. When you can hear someone's silence, name their feeling without forcing it. Hold space without needing anything back. You stop being just a man. You become an experience. And experiences don't fade. They imprint. That's why once you understand this, it becomes impossible to remain an ordinary man. This is the dark needle, and once it enters your awareness, you are changed.